Gamers, welcome back to the MP podcast.
Actually feels crazy for me not to say gamers, but whatever. So it's episode 3,
Episode 3.
and we have upgraded audio now.
Yeah, you might have noticed our upgraded intro, and now you'll hear the upgraded audio.
Dude, I think the visuals are pretty clean. Also, that's big shout out to NAF. I mean, I kind of gave I think you should do this. I think we pretty much did all the work, honestly.
We worked on it together, I'll say. But yeah, very happy with the intro. But besides that, let's get into today's episode. What kind of should we talk about? What we want to talk about today, or just jump right in?
Yeah, so if anyone watched the second episode, we kind of made the mistake of just forcing topics. So we're just going to try to keep it a bit more organic for the conversations now, I think. But there's a lot to talk about. We could just kind of jump into the beast here because I think it is kind of interesting and it kind of ties into the last episode. Well, what we kept of the last episode. So prices are getting really bad, and it's not just Nintendo. We were right.
This is what we predicted. The dominoes are now all falling in place, as you said. It seems like Xbox increased the prices on their stuff too, and it's not looking too hot for us broke gamers out here.
I mean, even if you're not broke, it's just bro, it just sucks. So as I predicted, obviously Xbox games are also now going to be, some of the games are now going to be $110 Canadian. By the way, I'm going to speak mostly in CAD here because that's my language, bro. That's the prices I see on my Walmart shelves. You know what I mean? So whatever. But yeah, dude, man, I really thought Xbox might do the based play. Look at how everyone's complaining about Nintendo and Sony and Xbox. I was thinking, oh, maybe they'll go the opposite route. They'll be like, well, we're pro-consumer to the max. We're not going to raise the MSRP.
That's been their branding lately, is that they're the one that consumers should choose because they favor consumers. But
it's such a weird move. I think it kind of says Xbox doesn't care about selling hardware anymore. That's kind of the message I'm getting. I mean, they've already been talking about, everything's an Xbox now, right? Your phone's an Xbox, your computer's an Xbox,
your smart fridge,
your smart fridge is an Xbox. You can run Doom on your toaster. So yeah, it just feels like maybe they just don't care about hardware sales nearly as much anymore. But it is kind of worrisome. Obviously now PlayStation's gonna do the same thing.
Yep.
And
it's inevitable. They haven't done anything officially yet.
It's really weird to me that Sony is last at this because I feel like Sony would, in every world possible, I feel like they would be the first, to raise all their prices and stuff. It's really weird that
they were the first with the PS5, right? With that first initial jump with the PS5 exclusive prices.
Oh, yeah, I think they were when games went to $70 US?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was PlayStation 5.
Yeah, they did it with the PS5 and they said it's going to be the PS5 only games, not the cross-gen ones.
Yeah.
So we did see them do it first, so maybe they're like, we'll do it last now. But
that wasn't long ago either.
That was 2-3 years ago?
Almost. Yeah, I don't know, maybe longer. Honestly, the PlayStation 5 generation has felt like a blip because nothing happened.
Well, you remember last year? Was it last year or the year before? They said, oh yeah, the PS5 is halfway through its life cycle.
And
there was 3 games out.
It just started?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean we're halfway through the life cycle?
I got so tilted when I heard that because I'm like, we just bought the PS5.
What do we have on this thing? We got a Final Fantasy 7 machine, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is crazy. But yeah, so the Xbox thing, man, is just now every single game thing is going to be going way up in price. The Xbox, pretty much everything on Xbox other than the games is going up by 80, right? 80 CAD.
Yeah, so for some references, the Series S was about I forgot what it was before, but it's gone up to 450-ish CAD, and that's a jump of $80.
And then the Series X, it's holy, the 2 terabyte Series X is $880 CAD. You're spending $1,000 CAD after tax to get a new Xbox. Who is gonna buy an up? Dude, it's already hard for Xbox to sell these consoles. It's clear they don't care, bro. Because who's gonna buy $1,000 Xbox?
There's one person out there that will. Is it worth the price increase?
No, but there's just so few people that would ever get that. It's just nuts. I mean, seriously, just build a PC. At that point, seriously, just build a PC. You could buy the parts and pay someone to build it. I think for cheaper than you can buy that Xbox and have like comparable performance.
Well, I will say that PC prices, hardware prices have really gone up, and they're
Oh,
really being affected by the whole tariff situation as well.
oh, that makes sense. I haven't upgraded in a while, so
Yeah, I've heard
yeah.
that GPUs are kind of at like the worst value right now that
Oh
they've been
yeah.
historically.
Okay, fair
So
enough. So
maybe
it's
maybe
the
not.
time.
It's the time, I
It's the
guess.
time
Yeah,
to move the console prices up. Okay,
yeah,
fair enough. To be fair, that's probably true. Actually, like if you look at a PC that has the performance of like an Xbox Series X, it probably will cost more even than this up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the whole point of consoles is that these manufacturers, the companies, they're selling them with the loss leader strategy,
kind
where
of at a loss. Yeah,
they sell it at a loss and they're hoping to make their money on selling you the games.
right.
So, but now they're gonna maybe lose a little less with these price increases.
Well, I think that's maybe the issue too. Is like, yeah, that's true, but then Xbox probably looking at it like, why are we even selling systems at a loss? Let's just get everyone on Game Pass.
Yeah.
You know, like
Good point.
so.
And
It's like that Netflix money is crazy. That's
yeah,
kind of what they're going for. It seems.
well, everything wants to be wants all the companies these days. They want to have that recurring revenue model.
Yeah,
Where
because
they're just getting memberships, and people.
as long as you can still buy the games, I'm cool with it. By the way,
Yeah.
like I like having that option. Right now, I'm playing Expedition, on Game Pass, and it's like, yeah, I mean, that price of like 20 something to play what has been so far my favorite game of the year is pretty cool.
Yeah,
like,
well, you and the boys on our chat, you guys have been playing a lot of Claire Obscure.
dude,
You guys kind of peer pressured me with all the hype to go
Yeah.
get the game.
dude, it's so good. Yeah, dude. Maybe we'll talk a bit more about games we've been playing later, right? Because I feel like that's probably gonna open it. If I start talking about Claire, bro, I'm not gonna stop. So, but yeah, for the Xbox thing, I mean, I guess there's not that much else to say. It's just really disappointing, right?
It's
Like,
disappointing. It's just a grim indicator of where the industry's headed. It's already heading.
yeah,
We called it with Nintendo last episode. We saw what was happening. You said it, or I forgot who said it, but we said we're gonna see it in the rest of the
yeah,
industry.
it's gonna come and fast, and it
Yeah.
came faster
It
than
came
I thought.
I
Way
think it was
faster.
within a week of our last episode.
I think Xbox was like, so what? Do we wait 2 months so that people have time to be angry at us, or do we just do it right after Nintendo? So
yeah, and
it's
then
like,
so all the hate is kind of lumped together.
Yeah,
It's not directed at a
exactly.
specific company.
Yeah.
It might have been a smart move from them in
I think
terms
it
of
is.
like wanting to do it. They might have chosen the right time.
I think
So
it
because
is.
watch Sony, maybe they'll delay it and then they'll get like specific hate just towards them after.
Yeah, and it's also like, I mean, everyone's happy with Xbox right now. You have Doom Eternal coming super soon. Game Pass is the best it's been probably in years right now.
Yeah.
Where you just got Oblivion, just got Expedition, So yeah, if I'm Xbox, I'm like, is there a better pocket really for me to do this? It probably is the best time to do it, but it's still. It kind of destroys my copium I had about Xbox, where I was thinking Xbox is gonna, they're gonna drop their handheld, they're gonna price it competitively, and they're gonna come back. They're gonna do I thought they were gonna do a big comeback by pricing better and kind of winning consumer trust that way.
That was a good prediction because I genuinely believed you too, and I thought like that seems to be their branding, right?
That's what I thought, yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe even then, on top of that, they'll still in other ways kind of push that they're better for consumers.
Yeah.
Because the pricing thing just might be the reality we got to deal with, and it's gonna be
and it's also like it's mostly hardware again. Like the whole Game Pass thing it's nothing to like scoff at. Like, I mean, it is quite pro consumer. If you're like if you're just getting a month of Game Pass when there's a game you want to play, it's like it's really comparable to when you would rent a game, right?
Yeah.
Like if you rent a game for a month, it would cost you probably about, if you adjust for inflation, about the same as like getting Game Pass
a month
for a
of
month.
Game Pass.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's like it's pretty fair. It's pretty pro consumer on that side. If they want to say, well, you can just play Game Pass on your phone. Who cares if the Xbox is $1,000? It's like, I mean, that's not wrong. It's not a bad.
It's not wrong. It is streaming, which some people have some reservations about.
True.
But I actually wanted to ask: do you think this affects PC games and the pricing? And do you think Valve kind of starts changing like Steam sale?
Oh, you think maybe?
You and I have been noticing that like indie games these days on Steam, you could get them
yeah.
on sale for like $5-10 in the past.
Now, not
but, like
really.
the good indie games these days, they'll be like maybe $30, $25 base price. And then on sale, you'll get like $20.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even consider that. That's actually terrifying to even think about. Yeah, I think you're. Well, first of all, we already know the answer is yes because we've seen the prices increase with the 70 increase on the PS5.
Yeah, you're
like,
right.
all the games that were like 70 on PS5, They were 70 on Steam. Some of them sometimes would be a little down price, but not
well, like AAA games, it's going to be kind of like a base price across
like base
the board.
MSRP.
But I guess why I mentioned Steam is because of all these indie games, and
Yeah,
you and I have noticed a trend of indie games have gone up in price.
What I'm saying though is around that time where those PS5 games were going up in price is kind of also when we started seeing indie games go up in price. It's weird though. To be fair, there's a lot of indie games that are still priced incredibly well, and I think people's standards for indie games have changed a lot. Where like people, what would have been like a classic indie game 20 years ago or 15 years ago now is kind of like
Steam slop.
Yeah, like people will look at it and just kind of be like, "Oh, you know, this it's fine, it's whatever."
Yeah.
Like the standards have changed quite a bit. That's not to say those classics from 15 years ago are not good anymore, but I'm just saying if you drop Castle Crashers now, you could probably drop it for like $5. But I don't think people are going to be like falling in love with Castle Crashers if you dropped it for the first time today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think it's just because people have seen what indie games are capable of,
right?
And how they've really been pushing like game mechanics and ideas in games that taking risks that AAA games don't.
It's not even just that. It's like they're filling the niches that big developers are too scared to fill
exactly.
a lot of the
like
time.
The risk, they're taking the risks that like EA won't take or Microsoft won't take.
Yeah.
And and I think these days for an indie game to really succeed, you got to be taking big risks, and those risks got to pay off, obviously.
Yeah.
People want to go to indie games to see new mechanics, to see new takes on existing mechanics. And when an indie game is just straight up an homage without putting their own twist on things, it doesn't succeed as much as it would have 10 years ago.
Sometimes I think you see it if that niche is really like
starved.
Yeah, really starved.
Yeah.
You know, like a good example, in my opinion, this might be a bit of a hot take, but like Dread Delusion, I don't think if that whole like Elder Scrolls like wasn't such a starved.
It was more common.
Yeah, like people probably wouldn't care about Dread Delusion that much because it's not that good.
You're right. Yeah. That is a good point. Well, like you said, the point of the reason why indie games are so successful now is they're filling these niches that people are just really looking for.
And that's because games are too expensive and take too long. So then you also like you always end up with these like voids where people can kind of fill in the gaps with indie games. I guess actually we can move on to the next topic because that kind of leads into it pretty well. We also want to talk about GTA.
Yeah. So everyone's heard of this. Like people, like my grandma's heard of this.
Yeah,
my grandma definitely didn't hear of this.
She
but
probably
like,
didn't.
The average like really casual gamer has heard. And GTA 6 has been officially delayed. It was supposed to come out sometime this year. They didn't give an exact date. They just said 2025. But Rockstar came out with a statement earlier this week or last week.
Yeah, so now we have a release date. It's May 26th.
May 26, 2026. They give an official date finally, but it has been delayed another year.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Do you think it's...
So first of all, do you care about GTA?
I care about it because I know how much of an icon it is in the gaming industry, and it's kind of an indicator of or it's like a pop culture thing in gaming, right?
I think it's interesting. I don't really care about GTA as a game. Like I never really I played it on PS2 as a kid and did a couple cheats, but I never really clicked with it in the same way everyone else seems to have. I didn't even care to play GTA 5. What was that, 13 years ago or something?
It was 2013, I believe.
Yeah,
2012.
Dude, it's an Xbox 360 game.
Yeah.
But I do think GTA is kind of like an industry leader in a lot of ways. So it's always important to look at it, even if you don't care about the game as a game that you want to play. It's still pretty important to look at what's happening with GTA. It's interesting, right?
Yeah, I'll even say a lot of the people who play GTA 5 and who are obsessed with it. I have friends who are not gamers by any means, but they love GTA 5, and it's a cultural icon at this point.
Yeah.
And like you said, you might not care for it as a game. A lot of people don't even engage with the game fully. It's such just an iconic thing. They buy it. They drive around.
I gotta have
missions. Exactly.
Yeah. Of course, I'm getting the GTA.
You see all the comments, all these normies commenting. Oh, we got X before GTA 6. It's become a meme. It's become just a pop culture thing.
I agree. It's like a cultural icon. So my thing with GTA and what I feel what's happening to GTA 6 is very reflective of the industry and of my issues with the gaming industry right now that I talk about pretty often to you. I don't think I've mentioned it yet on the podcast, but I'm really, really tired of devs. It's just the scope creep of games. It's really annoying me.
Everything is too ambitious. Huh?
I'm really tired of it. I understand for GTA, people are like, no, we want GTA to be this, but do you? On PS2, there was 3 GTA games. Those are still looked at as some of the best not only GTA games, but some of the best PS2 games.
Yeah.
You know, like Vice City. People love Vice City.
Vice City is a classic.
Yeah, people love it.
San Andreas and GTA 3.
Those games are classics, and they're still good today. You know, if you pick them up today and you just want to like, you know, fuck around in the open world or whatever, you got 3 on the PS2. 3 games of the same series. There is 0 GTA game on the PS4 and PS5s right now. Like that's crazy.
Like specific to those consoles, you mean?
But, well, yeah, obviously you can play all those games on there, but I'm saying like this is a Xbox 360 game, GTA 5, that you played on PS4 and then you played on PS5, and now Sony's saying we're in the late stages of the PS5, and we're gonna see at the very end GTA 6. That
GTA 6 is gonna be like what GTA 5 was on PS3. It came out at the end of the console's life cycle. And most people actually ended up playing on PS4.
But PS3 also had GTA 4. They had 2 GTAs on PS3.
You're right. Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like there was kind of a sweet spot during like the late PS2, but even PS3 era, where like it was a good amount of time being devoted to each game, but there wasn't as much scope creep to a point where it's just like, I feel like it's pointless. I understand for GTA, people are like, well, we want it to be as realistic as possible and all these things. I don't really understand that.
They expanded the scope from GTA 4 to 5 so much, like all like the activities in the world, and made it more like a living, breathing world. And Rockstar's kind of built an identity of that now, especially with Red Dead 2. And like everyone's like, oh, these worlds are like real worlds you get immersed in. So it's kind of inevitable that GTA 6, they're going to try and top it. It's the biggest budget game, I think, of all time right now.
I think
it's
I heard
like
something like
2
that.
billion, 3 billion or something like that. It's just insane.
And they're going to have to make all their money back on like GTA Online type live service.
That wraps back into the conversation we were having with the annual recurring, the live service shit, is that that's the reason why they've been able to squeeze so much juice out of GTA 5 is the online.
Bro,
live
at
service.
this rate, GTA 7 is gonna be like an NFT game, like straight up, bro.
Dude, you're gonna buy like crypto. Well, I've seen you've seen like those like red pill type dudes on like the podcast clips. There's one guy like Luke Belmar. He's like super memed on Instagram, but he there was like a clip of him yapping on some podcast, being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be doing all my business in GTA 6. You wanna know why? Because people are going to be creating on that platform."
I saw that. Yeah, bro.
But he low-key, to some degree, might be right.
No, honestly.
Like it's going to have its own economy, probably.
It's possible, especially, maybe not 6, maybe more like GTA 7, like in the next
or
one.
even like in the latter half of the GTA 6
around
online cycle.
Yeah, something like that. I could actually see it. I've seen already people make money on servers in different games. Like I think GTA Online. I'm not sure about GTA Online.
Even like Roblox,
I know Minecraft and Roblox,
Minecraft,
for sure.
Fortnite, VR chat, all these like online spaces where like they've become like places to hang out.
Yeah,
they become like virtual worlds where people just chill and it's not just money for the devs. Like people have opportunities to make money in it. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like on one hand, I do like the idea of like people who put hours in to make like a cool custom server. They should be able to make some money, and if people are willing to pay, why not? But at the same time, it's like when you put these pursuits of just like profit, I guess, or when you put that avenue open, or
it just makes slop, bro.
Yeah,
it results
exactly.
in just literal slop, like,
which is what we've seen in the game industry as it's gotten so big and it's taken over like the budgets of Hollywood movies.
Yeah,
we get so much slop when there's too much money involved, you know. Risks.
It's not even just money. I think it's too much people, especially. It's like when too much people. I guess money does that too, where it's just like if you're super profit oriented, there's just not going to be anything really there to latch on that's like has heart in it. You know, a lot of the time.
Like, it's the fear of risk. Once that money is being invested, and you're like, I gotta make my return. It's like why would I do something risky rather than something I know is like proven to give me a return, which is just the gaming industry as a whole. Honestly, entertainment as a whole.
And see, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying the GTA 6 thing is interesting, because that's where it brings us when we talk about GTA 6. It is like a very all-encompassing, like kind of cultural leader in that sense of whatever's happening in the industry. Because when you look at GTA 6, it takes you to these conversations, right? It takes you to like a grander scope. Definitely, you know, I could see those types of businesses are being ran within GTA 6 eventually online, but as for what I think about it, I don't really have an issue with it. It's just like I wouldn't engage with it. I don't really see the appeal. For me personally, I'd be like, I already don't care for the game that much. But even if it was a game I cared about, I don't think I'd want to get engaged in some type of like it's almost like an MMO at that point, right? Like
well, I mean, the single player is very iconic, and like You don't have to engage with.
No, I don't even mean the game. Sorry, I just meant like because you asked me about how I feel about these like people that have like paid servers or things like that. Just people making their own business within a game. And I'm just saying like even though I don't care that people are doing that, like if there's again like you said, if there's demand for it, I think people used to make money in RuneScape.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like whatever. If there's demand for it, fuck it, do your thing. But I don't really want to interface with it. I don't want to engage with it. You know what I mean? The game itself, yeah, it'll have single player like for sure, and they're not gonna force me to play GTA online, but I don't think I'm gonna play GTA 6 anyway.
I'm definitely going to.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you gotta. You know, it's for the culture, but
it's fine. I mean,
GTA 5. I'll admit here that I never finished GTA 5. I bought that game on release date back in 2013. I was 13 at the time, 13 years old, or 14, I think.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't sell me the game, so I had to bike to 3 different stores across town
to find someone
PSN cards.
Oh, to buy it online.
To buy it on the console store, which is like, it's so funny that was actually a workaround.
Why did you have to go to different stores to get your PSN cards?
I can't remember. I feel like I went to like the video store and they only had like 2 cards left or something, like $20 cards.
No way.
And I had to go to another store. I might have had to go to 2 different stores, but yeah, I couldn't drive then, so I was just biking around town trying to.
Wait, did you say 3 $20 cards? You got a game for $60?
It might have been like $59.99. I think I got like two $20 cards and then a third 20 to get like 60, and it was like 50.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
$60 games.
$60 game.
Now it's almost twice that. GTA 6 probably going to be more than twice that.
Who knows if GTA 6 is going to have special pricing?
I think it's going to be more than the Nintendo shit.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be, let's say in CAD, I think it's going to be like 130 or not 50. I think it's going to be 130, 140 CAD.
No, I mean after tax, like 150.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be like 150 after tax in Canadian dollars. US probably going to land around 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scary times, as we've said like almost every episode now.
Yeah.
These the games industry is not so hot, and yeah, we'll see where GTA 6 goes. But to get back on the topic of delays, yeah, like you said, like a lot of games, the scope is just too big these days.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I really like the PS2 era. I really like back when games would get a lot of sequels because they would reuse assets a lot more. I feel like Yakuza is a good example of that right now. It's one of the only series really doing it these days. And I don't buy every Yakuza game. I don't want to play every Yakuza game, but I think it's cool that they have this ecosystem set up where if there is a Yakuza that drops and I want to play it, it's likely dropping next year or the year after, because they're dropping a game almost every other year, every year, just by reusing assets, and they get to add a bunch of content and keep like their core gameplay loop alive without like, you know, like people are not asking for super over ambitious things from Yakuza. They feel like they get a good amount of content and a good amount of value from the games, even with the reused assets. You know, like we have Night Rain coming out now, which is going to be like not a full price game. I'm not super hyped for Night Rain, but I do think it's good that From Software isn't scared to just reuse assets, make a cheaper game that's like quicker to get out, and if people want it, they want it. If they don't, they don't. But it's like a low risk, low reward thing, which I feel like they used to do more. Now they don't do that anymore.
Well, that's exactly what we were talking about. Is like, since it's such an investment for games, they're not willing to take risks. But when you put a low investment in, you're more willing to take risks.
Right.
So like like we're seeing with Night Rain now. So it's not Miyazaki directing it.
No,
someone
it's not.
at the company who had this idea, and Miyazaki's like, go ahead, take the chance, see what you can do with it. And Miyazaki's real for that mindset.
And I don't even think it looks like I played the demo. I think it's fine. Like I don't hate it. I'm not in love with it. I don't even think I'll buy it. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll change my mind. But I don't really think I'm gonna buy it. But I'm just glad it exists. I'm glad that like even FromSoft is like, oh yeah, we can do like a reuse assets and make like a lower investment project, you know, and let someone else direct it. I feel like more studios need to do stuff like that. Really, they could have easily reused GTA 5 assets and made like a Vice City using the GTA 5 assets.
Like a mid console.
Like a spin-off title or something. Like there's nothing that would have stopped them from doing that with a side team. They would have probably raked in a ton of money from that. It would have been nothing but positive for them. Like, yeah, of course they have a lot of money invested and efforts invested in GTA 6, but like there's no reason to not use all these assets you've created and just make something with it. Like I really miss that style of game creation from back in the day, especially PS2 era. I feel like that was a sweet spot. You were getting sequels on that system, bro. You were getting multiple games per franchise on the PS2 era. Resident Evil had multiple games, you know. Yeah, I just really miss that, and that's why I'm sick of the scope creep. That's the main reason.
Yeah, yeah, just too much ambition, too much investment.
And
Not
okay, let's
enough
like let's
releases.
play devil's advocate too. I don't want to be too unfair. There are games that like probably wouldn't exist if there wasn't for this scope creep that are really awesome. You know,
Yeah,
like I'm looking at the Final Fantasy VII like 3-part
yeah.
remake thing, and there's like a big chunk of time between each part, and it's like, oh my god, it's gonna take 10 years at least to make this trilogy of games. You know,
Even if you look at Breath of the Wild, like what
sure.
it achieved, and I think Zelda fans were in like a 3D drought for almost a decade, maybe even
Yeah, yeah,
longer.
something
It was like
like
a
that.
crazy. It was Skyward Sword to Breath of the Wild. It
Yeah.
was such a big gap, and it was probably like a scope creep issue, but they delivered like one of the most
Yeah.
memorable, most iconic gaming experiences.
But to be fair, on that point though, like they still could have made a smaller side project between those.
Did they not release some 2D Zeldas in between? They released
I think
the
Link
3DS
Between
one?
Worlds
Yeah,
was Link Between Worlds before Breath of the Wild?
yeah, for
It,
sure,
it was?
for sure. Yeah.
Oh, well then yeah. I mean that's like my favorite Zelda game.
Yeah.
So I guess actually I wasn't in a drought at all.
No, you weren't.
I was actually
It was the 3D fans that were, well, I mean, a lot of the fans cross over, but yeah,
Yeah.
the 3D drought in the Zelda series.
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
long
okay.
time.
Then that's not that bad actually. Yeah. No, that's fine. Dude, Link Between Worlds fire.
Yeah.
It's good.
I know you love it,
It's a good
man.
game.
It is a good
Did you
game.
play it?
I played it in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, around when it came out.
Man.
I liked it, but it wasn't like I wasn't like mind blown.
Yeah,
by
but you're
it.
not like a 2D Zelda guy.
I'm not as nearly as much as 3D Zelda, but I still like 2D Zelda.
Yeah.
I should play more of it. I never got around to finishing Link to the Past.
You should not say that on a podcast, bro.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to delete.
crucify me,
We're
guys.
gonna have to delete that episode.
I'm a big 3D Zelda guy. I'm not. I plan to give them a chance. I really want to play the Link's Awakening remake on Switch.
Oh yeah,
I've been
I could lend
meaning
that to you. I
borrow
keep
it from
forgetting
you,
about
yeah.
that.
Well, I also have Echoes of Wisdom to play. I still haven't gotten around to playing it either.
True. We could, yeah, that too. I haven't played that one either. I probably should. I loved Link's Awakening.
You didn't play it? Echoes of
No,
Wisdom?
no. My fiance played it. But
Oh,
I was just kind of like, I was watching her play a bit, so I was like, I wanted to forget about it more before I play it because I
Fair point.
watched a good chunk of it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm a bigger 2D Zelda fan. That's it. But you know, it's fine. I don't hate 3D Zelda. I just don't play it.
But jumping from the game delay topic,
Yeah.
Milk Bong, aka Silksong.
That's actually pretty good segue.
Yeah.
Kind of. Hey, we're kind of pulling it off.
We're
here.
getting the ball rolling.
Yo,
you know,
we're doing it, man. We're podcasting right now.
We're podcasting big time.
This is totally me when I'm podcasting. By the way,
Shout out SoFlo Antonio.
SoFlo, bro.
That's a little ancient internet.
That
lore
is
now, you know?
ancient.
These
That aged
young
us.
Bucks, young bucks, they don't know about SoFlo like Antonio.
SoFlo Antonio ages you
And
instantly
the
when
golden
you
age
mention it.
3 days, you know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But yeah, jumping back into Silksong, Hollow Knight 2 Silksong, as many fans of the original game, and just it's become a meme of its own. How much it's been delayed, how little information.
The
we've
clown
gotten.
makeup meme, bro.
The
It's
clown-
so funny. The picture of the Hollow Knight with the clown.
We're gonna have it nice and big on the screen right now.
Yeah,
if you're
the
watching
picture.
the
Yeah,
podcast.
put it on the screen. Just the Hollow Knight with the clown nose and the
Yeah,
hair, bro.
yeah.
I fucking love that picture.
It's our chat picture. Actually.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's our gamer chat picture.
That's fine. We're finally gonna be able to remove it soon.
Yeah,
bro.
and then we're gonna have our friend who's been a Hollow Silksong cynic. We're gonna Photoshop him in that picture with the clown mask.
Yeah,
But,
he's the clown now.
yeah. But Silksong has been delayed and no news for like years and years on end now.
Yeah.
We're getting closer and closer to getting a release date. You want to touch on what the latest news we have now?
I think it's gonna be mid. Silksong is dead. No, I think it's probably gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the delays. Honestly, there was a point in time where I was like, "This is development hell. It's never coming out."
Yeah.
There was literally a point where I was like, "This is just not ever gonna drop."
We lost hope.
Yeah, I thought like, oh, you know what? They got lost in development hell. They can't live up to the standards that they set for themselves, and they're just not gonna release it. It's just not gonna happen. That's what I genuinely believed at a certain point. I kind of changed my mind on that because I saw some interesting things, like just looking at what little we have to look at, and I can see like they have a lot of systems that they put in that game, like Hornet's moveset. The amount of things you can do is just so far beyond what Hollow Knight could do.
There hasn't been any new gameplay, right, since that
No,
like
but
Xbox
there was a
Game Pass one.
Do you know Mossbag?
Yeah.
He's like a YouTuber. You know, he makes
Yeah.
like those Hollow Knight lore videos. If you haven't watched it, he has a really good video analyzing everything we do, like all the gameplay we do have of Silksong, and he goes really in depth, looking at UI and looking like connecting it to little scenes to connect what things do with the charm system and everything. And it really puts in perspective just like how opened up the moveset is actually for Hornet. She has like different skills. She has like different, I think, like types of badges. Like you have equipable skills plus badges. And a bunch of different tools as well. So they really, really expanded the options, it seems, that you have. And I think that might have been a big part of what took so much time. On top of, I think they just really wanted to go crazy on the scale of the game.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of talk about, what do you want to see in the game? Like like obviously we're gonna get a bigger world, some better badges.
I think, yeah, there's definitely gonna be I think the world's gonna be a lot bigger. I think I don't know if there's anything I want to see in Silksong. I just kind of want, or I'll put it a different way. I kind of want to just see everything in Silksong.
Yeah,
I kind of want to just.
Yeah, we have trust in Team Terry.
Team Cherry.
Team Cherry. And I'm sure what they're going to deliver is going to be great. Also, maybe that's kind of what they're worried about.
Oh, we didn't even mention.
We
didn't even mention the reason we're talking about Silksong, by the way, is because it's confirmed that it will be at the latest in September. We didn't even mention that.
How is that confirmed? You want to kind of touch on?
Yeah. So it's. I mean, we already kind of knew this. I guess people just realized what it meant. So now we get to talk about it.
Yeah.
But we already knew that it was going to be at this museum, I think in Australia. Like it's kind of they're doing like a video game museum expedition type of thing. Whatever.
Right.
I didn't look that deeply into it. All that's important to know for us really is that the game is going to be playable at the museum in September. Which kind of implies that you have like a limit release date. Like it has to come out before September. There's no way that the first way to play this game is at this museum expedition. You know what I mean? Like that would be ridiculous. It's not some like illustrious museum either. That's just gonna it's this.
And your prediction of us getting a concrete release date in the next.
I think it's going to be at the Jeff Keighley show. Is it Summer Game Fest?
Yeah,
Summer Game Fest.
And that's going to be early June, right?
Yeah, I think it's the same week that the Switch 2 releases.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to have a podcast with our predictions.
Yes, bro. Dude, I can't wait to make that. Yo, like as a fellow YouTube slop while I'm doing something else enjoyer, I just love that style of video. I want to make one of my own, when I just yap about what I think might be at the show, even though I have no idea.
Yeah. So stay tuned for late May. We're hoping to do an episode maybe like a week before the game show, talking about what we want to see, our predictions, some wild cards. We'll all have all that ready for your listening pleasure.
For sure. And we'll definitely also probably make a video after the show. Not a video, I mean a podcast right after the show, right? Just talking about what happened and just kind of what we're excited about, what we're not excited about. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be our first like big show that we get to like cover, for the podcast. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'll just give you this prediction in advance. I really, really, really think we're getting that release date for Silksong at the Summer Games Fest.
You've definitely convinced me. Just saying, it just makes so much sense.
You want to know why it makes sense? I told you this, but I don't want to say it on the podcast.
Say it on the pod, man.
If you guys, some people might not know this, but a couple of years ago, at the Summer Games Fest, before the show even started, Jeff Keighley had to tweet out. He basically told people there will be no Silksong at the show. He had to literally tell people that it won't be there. Imagine having to do negative press for your own show just because of how much people want this game. So I guarantee you, bro, the fact that he had to do that, he was probably like, guys, you owe me a fucking trailer. Look, I'm putting your trailer at Summer Games Fest, whether you like it or not, bro.
He's got Team Cherry by the balls in his hands.
So I think Jeff is gonna get that trailer for sure, and I even think he's gonna tweet before Summer Games Fest. There will be Silksong at this show.
You think he's gonna spoil it?
I think so, dude. I think because it's just so funny. Just because he had to spoil that there would be no Silksong. I think him saying like, because at that point it's honestly advertising.
True. Like how many people are gonna tune in when they hear this?
There will be Silksong. People are like, okay, well, I'm there.
They're gonna tune in and then get a bunch of like indie slop trailers shoved in their face.
But it's not indie slop. Now it's gonna be Friendslop. That's the new,
true.
That's the new genre.
Slop. Yeah, this has kind of been a hot topic on Twitter like a month ago.
It's a good genre.
Someone kind of dropped that term like, oh, a bunch of Friendslop games, and then people were clowning on him. Yo, go touch grass.
It's a good term.
It's a good term. It's kind of real as fuck too. Like,
Friendslop
has been kind of a prevalent genre, and you kind of want to explain to the
viewers,
what is Friendslop?
It started with it didn't start with Among Us, but let's just say like
got really big.
A lot of the games that people call Friendslop now are inspired by Lethal League, which is heavily inspired, I think, by kind
Lethal League?
Wait, I said Lethal League.
Lethal
My bad.
Company.
Yeah, Lethal Company. My bad. Which is highly inspired. Shout out Lethal League, by the way.
Yeah, shout out
Sick game.
Underrated game.
Underrated. Anyway, yeah. So Lethal Company, which is I think highly inspired by Among Us. So I feel like kind of Among Us is kind of like the start of like that Friendslop sludge demon that kind of evolved into these Lethal Company clones.
The Escape from Tarkov.
I just want to say, I don't think these are like bad games.
No. But like you can
they're slop.
They're kind of jumping on the trend of making games that, oh yeah, man, you play with your friends.
It's because of streamers, bro. It's because kids will watch like Markiplier. Well, maybe not. Kids don't watch Markiplier anymore. I'm old. Kids will watch whoever the fuck they watch.
The Kais and Nats.
Yeah, they'll watch Speed. Yeah, play like Lethal Company or whatever. Just a game, a friend.
You know that game where they're chained together and they have to jump over obstacles.
Yeah, that's also Friendslop. It's a different kind of Friendslop, but that's also.
But essentially, Friendslop is kind of games that are kind of designed with the intended purpose of people playing with their games, but also people playing with their friends.
Yeah.
But also they kind of have the aim of like generating discourse about playing with like, oh, I'm playing this with my friends, and then sharing clips and stuff like that. Just games where like people can be goofy together.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a result of like post-COVID era where everyone was kind of stuck at home playing games together.
Sure.
Like we said, we don't think it's a bad trend.
No, it's not a bad genre. I just don't really care for it.
Don't care for it, and you can see it's kind of like getting saturated. And
it's a bit forced.
It's a bit forced.
Like Lethal Company, I think is great. Like I'll just say it this way: I played
even
it a bit.
Among Us when it was like really big.
It was fun. It was a thing where I played it the first week or two that it was popular, and I was like, yeah, I had a good time playing this, you know.
But I guess the only issue with the genre is that you can see a lot of people jumping onto the bandwagon to make games for the sake of being Friendslop rather than making something.
Hot take: Is Jack actually the start of Friendslop? Jackbox or whatever?
Oh, Jack.
Is it Friendslop?
No, because Jackbox is more designed with like
it's more like
people at your house, like a party.
It's more like a board game, right?
Yeah, it's like a party game, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay, that's not Friendslop. It's not the same. Wait, yeah, true. Because I guess like co-op at home, like Mario Party wouldn't be called Friendslop.
No,
it's really those online, like online with friends or online
usually
friends.
On Steam.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And they're usually like indie games with like not with like great assets or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. And like they usually have like jank mechanics and like some goofiness to it.
Dude, I wish I had this commercial. There was this commercial I saw for like a Friendslop game on Twitter, and they have like this fake like real people talking. You know, like they're trying to sound natural,
Kinda
but they're
like the Nintendo.
Oh my god, he's following me! Oh my god, guys! You know, and he's like way too invested. Like obviously, you wouldn't be that invested if you were.
You know what that reminds me of? The Switch 2 Mario Kart World trailer for the webcam.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh my god, there's like a chain chomp chasing me.
I love that stuff, bro. When they try to sound natural in trailers, but they also got to make it as glazed as possible. You know.
Also, they got to keep it like consumer friendly and like family friendly, so it's like you see like a grown man going, oh my god, he's chasing me.
I would actually cry if they dropped like a Mario Kart trailer. It was like, fuck you, dude. Like just actually like, bro, fuck your fucking blue shell. Like they need you in a Mario Kart trailer, bro. You would kill that trailer, dude.
I have some legendary crashouts in the friend group.
Dude, the crashouts are insane. Games. Sometimes I think he's actually gonna kick me out. Like actually,
no, I'm very conscious of when I'm crashing out.
But you're funny.
I'm pushing the boundaries of what's okay to rage at my friends for.
But I can tell though, like you kind of like that it's funny. Like when you crash out, you're kind of like
I know you guys are entertained by it.
You're actually mad.
It's like it's letting me have a catharsis for my anger that I'm feeling in the game, but it's also I'm embellishing it because I know like if I'm not fully committing to it, then it's like actual just rage.
Yeah.
But when I'm going like extra on the rage, there's like an element of like he's taking it too far and he knows it,
and that
makes it more fun and like less like tense.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's very strategic, but I like it. It's a good. I love your crash outs. I think they're awesome. My crash outs are so bad. I try to just stay like not crashing out because when I get upset, I can't do that. I don't have that power in me. I just kind of start calling.
Maybe one day we stream like some of our HDR sessions and catch some like genuine crash outs.
Oh, I mean, you can catch a bunch of my crash outs if anyone watches my Master Rule streams. It's like a disaster when I crash out. It's like so bad. I just get upset at everything.
Sometimes that gamer rage hits, man.
Oh, dude,
it's a different type of rage than any
especially, other. Especially like online games, like in Dark Souls, I'll be upset, like annoyed, but I won't be like. It's not the same as when I'm playing against another human, and then it's like.
To me, the greatest gamer rage is playing platformer fighters against my friends. Like my rage in Street Fighter 6, losing to my friends who are better than me, it's not like I can be like, oh yeah, nice, nice. But the rage I feel in Smash Bros, Rivals of Ether,
Because you
I'm
feel
losing,
like you could win.
yeah,
That's why.
that's the thing. It's like and like when it's a back and forth session, I won't have that
Yeah,
rage.
yeah.
It's those sessions where you're just
You lose like
consistently
a lot of games in a
dumpstering
row.
me, or our other friends are just, dude. There's something in my ego when it comes to. I think it has to do with me and James first becoming friends through Smash.
Yeah, maybe.
And like us playing so much Smash together, and
and sharing so many games, like trading games is what I mean.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like
And so when it becomes like a one-sided session, dude,
just
something
like,
in my mind tells me like you're freaking
such
loser.
an idiot. You're a
You're a
retard.
loser. You're losing to these guys you should be equal with, and like something just gets triggered in my brain. We're like,
yeah.
that crash out is another level. But
Yeah, me it's different. Like me, I'd say my worst crash outs are playing like Master Duel because it's so. I know it's another human on the other side, but there's no emotes. There's nothing. It's so no person there, you know,
Yeah.
other than I know there's a human on the other side, and it's a card game too, so there's a luck element, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like, dude, I bet this guy feels so fucking good right now.
Oh,
I bet he
dude.
feels so smart for that stupid fucking. Oh, right, he drew the right card. Good for him. What a fucking idiot. He's playing a bullshit deck. Like, there's just so many of these aspects that just make me so. I feel like if there was just emotes in that game, like really basic ass like Hearthstone emotes, it would fix so many of my issues. The zero communication kills me, bro.
For me, I think it would be worse. Even when playing Smash against you, when you get like a nice thing on me, and I know in my head I start seeing, yo, this guy fucking thinks he's the best of all time because he landed this fucking spike combo on me. That just triggers
Sometimes
me.
they look fire as fuck.
They
though.
look
Sometimes
fire,
that
and
combo
I
look fucking
can't ever
sick.
admit it.
Yeah,
See, that's my thing.
That's true.
We've been playing a lot of tennis. When someone gets like a nice play on me in tennis, I'll be like, yo, nice shot.
Yeah.
If we're playing Street Fighter and you beat me in a game and you do like a nice combo, I'll be, dude, nice
Damn,
combo.
you landed that. Whoa.
Yeah. But in Smash, I cannot admit when one of you guys does something nice on me, no matter how nice it is, I'm just seething so much. I'm just like, fuck this guy, fuck this guy, fuck this guy. I'm unable to, like, my ego gets so like inflated, like I can't even admit when you guys are doing something nice. I'll just rage about the character. Oh, fucking stupid character. You got an easy ass combo because you're playing this stupid character, man. Yeah, that rage. But honestly, now that you mentioned like playing in Yu-Gi-Oh, there have been times when I was grinding Street Fighter 6, and I was getting really into it. I'd be in those high level ranked matches, and I'd lose, and I'd be like, this fucking loser. I know he feels slick for doing some basic
basic
he
bullshit.
barely read me. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I know I'm better than this guy, but I'm just playing like.
And to be fair, honestly, I actually think the card game to Street Fighter comparison is pretty good because honestly, they're both kind of random. Like, not as much for Street Fighter, but the rock paper scissors aspect of Street Fighter 6 especially is so prevalent.
Well, fighting games in general, but yeah.
I mean, but there's a lot of fighting games where they give you so many options that it kind of dissipates that rock paper scissors aspect. Like when you have air dashes, air blocking, and all these things, it really removes a lot of that rock paper scissors like fundamental structure. It's still there, but it's not as
it's more abstracted, I guess. Yeah,
because there's just way more things you can do, way more answers to everything, right? So Street Fighter being kind of more, I don't know how to put this, but just kind of more basic than other fighting games.
So much more fundamental.
Okay, that's a better word. I don't want to say basic. Yeah, fundamental is a lot better. That rock paper scissors aspect can probably be super frustrating if you take it serious. Like, because a lot of the times it's like, oh, I guess wrong. He guessed right. I guess wrong. He guessed right. And that's really not that different from, oh, he drew the right card. Yeah. Oh, I drew the right card.
Oh, especially in the corner and the freaking throw loops in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he threw again. Who would have known? No, I tried to read his throw. Oh no, he shimmied me.
Oh, I jumped like TDP.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like shit like that. Honestly, that's kind of why when I get to Platinum in Street Fighter 6, I just kind of stop playing until they drop another waifu DLC for me to get to Plat 2. Because I'm like, okay, I got to Plat. I had some fun with this new waifu character, and now I'm going to move on. Like, I don't want to get that sweaty about the game. It's just
I miss playing Street Fighter 6. Super fun. I could like do a 30-minute session while I have some free time. And like,
I feel like that game gets worse when you get way higher. Like,
I was having so the highest I got to was D Diamond 5. So just before like
just before Masters?
Just before Masters.
Okay.
And I really lament the fact that I didn't just spend some extra time and get into Masters and say, you know, I'm in that bracket of players. I play with like my friends who I would play with are all in Masters, and they kept telling me like, dude, you could do it. You just need to like you know, buckle down. But then at the same time, I think of like the gamer rage, and also Smash Bros, Street Fighter. a 30-minute session of those games, my pits get so sweaty. I need to go put deodorant on. It's not good, bro. Those games
That's
get
greasy
me,
as fuck,
those
dude.
games get me so sweaty, and they're like, it's like you become that sweaty player.
Yeah.
And like that's why I'm
so
like,
funny.
maybe it's not worth it. Just
It's like a debuff.
Yeah.
It's like a
Bro, I'll be
it's like
playing
a
and I'll
sweaty
like smell
sweat
my own
lord
piss.
debuff.
I'm like, oh man,
This is
like,
nasty.
This is nasty. I gotta go put some deodorant on or go take a shower or something. But
that doesn't happen to me as much for those games.
dude, when we have an HDR session here, the modded Smash, by the time you guys leave, if it's on like a weeknight and I've already showered before you guys came, I'm like, bro, I just like negated my shower, bro. Like, playing this
That's
session,
hilarious.
I get mad sweaty in those games. I don't know if it's just like the mental like uh, demand it takes that I'm sweating a lot, but it's also the intenseness of like I gotta win.
I gotta do this. Yeah.
You know, like that saying, like, oh, he's such a sweaty gamer. It exists for a reason, man. Some of these games get you sweaty as fuck.
Oh, dude, most expressions exist for a reason. But yeah. Anyway, I guess we could get into another topic at this point, right?
Yeah.
I think we have a couple things we could talk about. I guess we could just get into what we've been playing. You know, just kind of talk about games that we've been playing lately. Because you know, on the first podcast, we talked about how you were looking forward to Oblivion. I was going to maybe try Expedition. We never really came back on that, and we haven't really talked about games we're playing right now at all on the podcast.
No, we haven't.
So you can start.
Yeah, so I finally got to play Oblivion, and it was Ghost dropped as we had predicted, and as all the leaks kind
suggested.
of suggested.
Yeah.
I obviously, you know, Oblivion's got a super special place in my heart. I played a good 30 hours, and like, so
you played 30 hours of the remaster?
Yeah. Well, that's what the game says. So I think it includes like, you know, what I've left the game on and stuff like that. So maybe closer to 25 hours.
Yeah.
But I also got really lucky because at work I had like IT issues.
I forgot about that.
I had the week that Oblivion came out, I essentially had no work. I was stuck at home just kind of monitoring our chats, but we couldn't do any real work because our systems were kind of down.
So it was Oblivion time.
So it was just like in the couch here, just playing Oblivion, just monitoring my work chats in case any like last minute tasks come up. Yeah. But it was just like really being sweaty playing Oblivion.
And did you like how do I say this? Like, I already know that you love the game because you're like so nostalgic for it. But did you feel like some of it maybe aged really well or whatever? Like
so Oblivion, I've revisited it a lot since I first played it. I must have played it a couple times. I haven't like gone through the whole thing a bunch of times.
Yeah, but, it's not really that kind of game.
Yeah, the mechanics are still the same, and they've improved on some of the things that weren't good, like the leveling system.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still the combat. They made the animations better, but it's still pretty
bad.
like. I don't hate it, but like my brother is like a big hater of the Oblivion combat, and he was watching me play. He's like, bro, doesn't look like they've changed anything. I was like, yeah, the animations are nicer. To me, that's enough for Oblivion. Because I don't play Oblivion for the combat. I'm playing it for the world.
That's fair.
To get immersed.
I mean, it's to get immersed, right? That's the style of game that it is.
And I'll say, like, going back into it, like, for the first day where it came out, I really felt like a kid again.
Yeah.
By day 2, I was kind of remembering, oh, yeah, it's just Oblivion.
It's just Oblivion.
It's just with a new coda page.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't think you're going to be playing through the whole thing, probably,
Not in one session. Like, not in one, like, a game session.
You might go chill in Oblivion Remaster every now and then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially because with Claire coming out, and you guys, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, you guys kind of.
I mean, you're not gonna want to play Oblivion over Claire.
No, I think it's. I like to have it on my PS5. Yeah. Have it as when we're in like a drought of games and like something I can just hop into here and there.
Yeah, chill out, get immersed a little bit. It's also like probably a very relaxing game. It seems very relaxing, even though there's action and all these things. I just mean relaxing in the sense of like you kind of get lost in it. You can kind of sit back and just fuck around. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not really a game for me. I don't think. I think like. There's yet to be like an Elder Scrolls style game that really clicks for me, honestly.
I will say what I do love about Oblivion compared to like Skyrim, and a lot of people talk about this, is like you can really break the game in Oblivion.
Yeah,
you can
that shit looks
custom
fun.
Potions, and like I might have sent you guys a clip of this guy who like they increased the limit in the remaster actually of how many skooma you can drink. Mm-hmm. Skooma is like an iconic drug in the world of Elder Scrolls, but when you drink it, like reduces like your personality and stuff like that, but it increases your speed like crazy. So there's like clips of people
do crazy jumps and shit.
Yeah, like they'll drink like 13, 15, 20 skooma. They're like sprinting across the whole like game map in like a matter of seconds. Like shit like that is awesome. And
yeah, I love shit like that for sure. I'm not sure that would be enough because it's a really long game if you really want to get into it. Like
yeah, well, like I said, I think right now it's a good game to have as like a.
Oh, no, I'm just saying for me, I agree that it's good to have for you, especially because it's one of your like childhood favorites.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm not even really trying to hate. I'm just like I was kind of interested in starting it, but now I kind of don't really.
With Claire, nah.
Dude, Claire, can I just talk about it a little bit? Like,
yeah, let's get into it.
Yo, I think it's the like I've been thinking about. I think it's the best Western modern game. Like, period. Like,
Yeah.
if we're saying modern games is
Like
like
what
PS4, PS5.
PS4 and above.
I feel like that's what we consider modern games now.
Yeah.
I don't think we really consider PS3 modern games anymore.
I guess they've become kind of retro now.
They're 20 years old. PS3 games are older than Super Nintendo games were when we were kids. Right now, so
I had not considered that.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
yeah, so definitely they're kind of retro now. 2005 is a long time ago, and yeah, if we're saying PS4, PS5 is the modern gaming era, I guess it's only technically Western relative to where we're at. It's like in the East, right? Because it's in France.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's beautiful, dude. I think the game, what I like so much about it is, you know how Square Enix, when they make RPGs now, it's almost like they're ashamed of being an RPG in a way.
Yeah.
They're kind of like trying to work around the fact that they're an RPG, you know?
Which I loved about Rebirth, by the way.
But they did it great.
Unapologetically a game.
Yeah, they did it great. I'm not saying that they're apologizing about being a game. I'm just saying that they're trying to be less turn-based. Like they're trying to be less a JRPG, more what modern gamers
like
want, what they
RPG
think.
Style, yeah.
They're doing Claire. First of all, I'm so glad Claire succeeded. Like, did good. It sold over 1 million copies in 3 days, which is awesome. Especially since it was already on Game Pass and still sold that. What I'm loving is it's the opposite. They're kind of embracing the genre of the classic JRPG, like the PS1 JRPG, and it feels like they're taking all the good aspects of like a retro JRPG, just bringing them to like their modern like absolute in a way, and like and it's just like what's the most we can do with all these game systems. It has this mini overworld of like PS1 RPGs where you get out of town and your character's giant because
I'm very early in the game, but I just got to that part where
you got to see that. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything really for you. But I just I
think once I finish the game, we're gonna have to collab on that review.
Yeah, we might have to do something like that. I'm probably gonna start writing I'm in the last stretch of the game right now. I played so much in the past week. It kind of swallowed up my life in the past week in a way. I have like 30 hours in the game, which I guess not swallowed my life, but that's a lot of hours for a week still in a single player game. And yeah, dude, the art direction is amazing. I think the artistic intent of the game, I would compare even to like a Hideo Kojima, which I really didn't expect. Western games have had especially bad storytelling for the past couple generations, I would say. I guess there's like exceptions. Like some people would say Druckmann's storytelling is good. But once you play Expedition, I don't know if you'll feel that way anymore, bro. Like this is actual Kojima level, like great conceptualization, writing, gameplay interspersed with story in a way that is
there that ludonarrative harmony, like where like the gameplay mechanics feed into the narrative? Okay,
kind of. And not like on the Nier Automata level.
Yeah,
I would still. So that's why I say it's my. I think it's just my favorite game since Nier Automata, like new game.
Yeah, and do you think the story in the game is kind of something unique, like that is only being able to be told
within a game?
Within the game frame, yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually thinking about that while playing it, and it's like I guess you could kind of tell this story without the game, but it wouldn't really work as well, I guess is what I would say. Kind of like how they were able to make an anime for Nier Automata, but it's like you tell that story without the game, and it's just so many of the things that happen just kind of get ruined by your lack of involvement within the story. Like your involvement within the story adds a ton. But you'll just have to find out for yourself, man. You'll have to you'll see, dude. The story is really cool, and the concepts are really interesting. I really like what they do with it.
Yeah. Well, I want to, since we're talking about JRPGs, I kind of want to touch on what I'm finishing up and what I'm playing. I'm just gonna pause it real quick. So yeah, I've been playing Metaphor ReFantasio.
Right, which I also loved.
Yeah. super awesome game. Like I haven't been that engaged in a JRPG in a while.
Yeah.
Like where I like. Well, actually, that's not true. I played Rebirth later last year,
Yeah,
and
true.
then
And you love that game too,
I love
right? Yeah,
Rebirth. Yeah,
I love Rebirth too. Yeah. Oh my god, bro. JRPGs are doing so good right now. But yeah, Metaphor, awesome game, bro.
awesome game, but it kind of ruined the last chunk of the game. So I'm in the last stretch right now. I'm like just about to face the final battle of the game. Just tying up some loose ends before I get to do that. But I've been rushing through the last portion of the game, and it's because there's just way too many freaking great games to be playing right
It's
now.
really weird, man. I thought this year wouldn't be all that, but it's really turning out to be awesome. I definitely did not think that my favorite game in years would come out this year and it would be made by not Japanese devs.
Yeah.
I guess people don't well, people that watch me on the Master Duel channel know this, but I haven't really enjoyed Western games in general for ages. Like I just avoid them because they never ever really hit for me. So the last thing I expected was to play kind of like a. Sorry, I'm back to. Oh wait, give me a second. We can pause this. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting back on on the expedition thing, but it's just to say like this has turned out to be a pretty insane year for games. Plus, we're gonna get Silksong later, and I played Berserker Kazan recently on my subathon, which was also I call it kind of like a soul slop, but I still really like it. So yeah, it's just kind of a crazy year for games. So you've been like rushing through Metaphor,
Yeah,
I guess.
I've been rushing through Metaphor. I was playing the game on normal difficulty, and it was like to me, I think that was like the sweet spot of like
really good.
JRPG difficulty.
Yeah, I like it.
It was like not super hard. I had to like really like item scrounge and everything like that. But it was hard enough for like I'd have to retry fights
and be careful.
And, like, really consider my
Yeah.
strategy in the fights, which I really loved in that game and that combat system. I see why you glaze press turns so much. It's
Thank
really
you,
fun.
bro. Bro, press turn is so good.
I still I think I like the Chained Echoes overdrive system a bit more, but I still really like the press turn, and I would like to see a hybrid of the two. That would be awesome.
I just want to say, bro, if you ever end up, and this is gonna be probably far in the future with all the games coming out, but if you ever end up playing Shin Megami Tensei 5 and try a press turn system where you have more control. Because the thing I don't like in Metaphor is that it's kind of, yeah, you have the press turn system, but the order of your characters is not always the same. Like sometimes you start on different characters at the start of the fight and stuff like that. So you don't have as much control over your strategy. In SMT5, because it's always the same order of characters that you're playing with, you can really like optimize your strat in a way that just feels so good, dude. It's so nice. So I think the press turn system is better in SMT5. It's still great in Metaphor though.
But yeah, to jump back in, so this last stretch of the game, because I'm just trying to rush, because there's so many games to play. I sadly turned the difficulty down to easy
just to like rush through.
I just want to rush through it and get like to the ending and see what happens.
Well, I guess you're just not sucked in anymore at this point.
Yeah, the game really had me sucked in. Like I was immersed, but this last stretch kind of unsucked me, or pause. But
unsucked, bro.
That's but the game, like it lost my immersion just because of, first of all, that you get. I don't know if should we talk about like a minor spoiler in the game or not.
I mean, look, we're gonna do minor spoilers. We do timestamps on our podcast anyway, so if anyone wants to avoid minor Metaphor spoilers because you still haven't played it, just feel free to go to the next timestamp.
Yeah, but you get like that 30-day window to kind of tie up loose ends before you finish the game. That 30-day window kind of like I wanted something like that because I wanted to be able to tie the loose ends, but at the same time, it kind of just like made me lose interest. So I'm like, it's like
it's
doing
just a bunch of
chores. It's a big checklist to get through in those 30 days in the game, and I'm so close to finishing the bonds with all the characters. I just have Yufa left, which we talked about, which I might be soft capped out of according to some.
Our entire friend circle failed to do it for Yufa. I think all of us just kind of put her on the back burner because it's kind of lame.
Yeah, honestly. But I think I read some stuff that I might be able to do it, especially because I finished that last dungeon already. So I might be able to do it. But like I said, I just want to finish the game. Because I started Claire. My brother was in town visiting, and he was like begging me to play so he could watch me play.
Yeah.
So I bought it, downloaded it, and now I feel even more of a rush to finish Metaphor because I really want to get immersed into Claire.
Dude,
but I've been playing, and I haven't been able to fully get into the mindset of the game just because I'm like thinking in the back of my mind, I got to finish Metaphor before I can invest myself fully into this new game.
I'm going to say this, like, You were talking about the overdrive system. I think Claire is like the first time in a while that I've seen a turn-based system that kind of rivals press turn for me, where I'm kind of like, yo, but I mean,
I don't want to get too much mechanical spoilers.
I wish it had press turn.
Yeah, to like extend
if
your
it had
turns.
press turn on weaknesses, bro, then I'd just be like, this is unequivocally the best combat system of any JRPG of all time.
So far, I've been really liking that rhythm system, or like the reaction system to the game.
It's fun. And dude, one thing I noticed about that system that kind of I really love about it is just it kind of forces you to stay immersed. Just because you have to be reactive in
you
the
gotta
combat.
force yourself to watch like the animations of the enemy.
A lot of the time when I did the less important stuff in Metaphor, I would have like YouTube on my second monitor. So I was like, oh, I'm doing like a side dungeon, whatever. I'm just kind of, doing these fights. There's nothing too crazy. I'm do my commands, listen to Maximilian dude talk about some fucking fighting game. I don't know. But with Claire, I have not even wanted to do that. I haven't been turning a video on the side at all. I'm just kind of super like honed in, super immersed, focused on my combat, trying to time my parries. All this stuff all kind of like comes together to really just sucks you in. So man, I'd love to see press turn with reactive combat, how that would feel. That would be pretty sick.
Well, I think Claire really opened up JRPGs. Like everyone was talking about how Persona 5 kind of revived the JRPG genre.
Like in popularity.
But Claire, I think, is bringing it to a really mainstream audience now.
I think it's the first time that I think you're going to see Square Enix being like, okay, we were wrong. Like, they're actually going to be like, yeah, people still fuck with turn-based. They still fuck with all these systems that we pioneered.
Yeah.
Like, I was saying this in the group chat. I don't know if you saw it, but I think even more so than the FF7 remakes, Claire Obscure is more of a modern Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And not in the sense, of course, it's not Final Fantasy VII, but I'm saying like it's really the evolution of all those game systems. It's really like, this is a PS1 JRPG made in 2025 with 2025 mechanics in mind, with scope in mind, with all these things. But if you take all these mechanics at their core, at their root, they're rooted in a PS1 JRPG. They're rooted in Final Fantasy VII, which I think makes the game just so incredible. Even Rebirth, a lot of the stuff you can root to like a Ubisoft game. Like if you go mechanically,
the open world stuff, and the towers and whatnot. Yeah,
that's different in Claire. Like the way they handle it is, it's as Final Fantasy VII as it gets. Not just 7, just Final Fantasy on PS1 really. But so yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of a wake up call for Square. I think Square's gonna be like, yo, we definitely should just be making the best. Like, we should be making a better JRPG than Claire Obscure. Like, that's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
And it's gonna sell millions.
I'm excited to see how this inspires indie devs. Does this studio count as an indie studio? Or
I don't think
like
so. 30 people is more. Yeah, I'd say it's more like a AA studio. And oh my god, dude, I hope it doesn't scope up. It's a success, right? I don't want to see them reinvest much money into the projects. I think they should just keep the same scope.
Yeah.
I hope they stay a 30 people team. I hope they don't invest more into their games. I think the game is so great. Let's just keep it around the same budget. Fill your pockets with money that you made from the first game. Fuck it. Buy yourself a nice house or something. But please don't hire 90 more people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Please keep it the same team. You guys, they did such good work. I don't want to see more people just kind of dilute, too many cooks
in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to get deeper into the game. I hope to maybe finish up Metaphor today.
Yeah. But probably like you're like at the last-ish boss.
Yeah, I got like 3 days till the last boss in the game.
Yeah. So you're pretty much there. The end of that game is really cool. I think you'll enjoy the end. It'll suck you back in, I think. Maybe put it back on medium just to finish it. Like maybe for the last dungeon, just put it back on medium.
Well, I finished the last dungeon. I just actually have to go fight the last boss now.
Oh, okay.
Well, spoiler warning, I guess. But Luis, he went and he made like that red, like he ascended somewhere, and he's waiting to use the scepter. So I have to not like I finished the castle dungeon where you. With
the stairs and everything?
Yeah.
Okay,
I finished that part. Okay. So I think the last part is just a battle, unless there's another dungeon there.
No, I'm pretty sure that's just the battle.
Yeah, just a battle.
But it's just story-wise, it's like interesting.
Yeah, I honestly, I've like lost my investment in the game that I think I'm just gonna keep it easy, finish that boss.
Oh,
Like, I
yeah?
just want to see what happens story wise.
Okay.
I lost my investment in the gameplay mechanics
Oh, fair
because I'm
enough.
like 70. No, I'm 83 hours, 82 hours in the game now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like. The same thing happened with me with Rebirth. Like I was so invested, and then I got to the 80-hour mark, and I was like, "All right, time to wrap it up."
My build, dude, my build by the end was so broken in Metaphor that
Yeah.
even on normal, I was just crushing that last boss, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were side things that I found harder in the game, just because.
Well, those Dragon Sky Avatar,
Yeah,
or
stuff.
whatever they're called,
Yeah.
trials, those are pretty tough.
Yeah, those were tougher than the final boss for me. But I liked the final boss a lot. I had a lot of fun fighting it. But anyway, that's fair enough. Whatever you do, I don't really care. Honestly, if you want
Yeah.
to play it on easy, it doesn't really bother me. But yeah.
One other game I guess we can mention we played is well, what we like to do as a group of friends. It's you, me, my brother, and our other friend. We like to often get together and play some single player games together. We like hook up my Steam Deck to the TV. And we'll play like some weird, fun story based indie games.
Yeah.
Where like one of us will have the controller. We'll maybe pass it around and we'll kind of strategize. Oh, go do this, go see that.
Yeah, we have a lot of good ones. My favorite one that we did that with was like Inscription. I feel like if anyone has never tried this, like sometimes just a single player with multiple people. If like it's a kind of game where we can all kind of talk about it, it's actually a lot of fun. When you watch a movie, you don't really want to talk.
Yeah.
But when you have one person playing like a kind of short-ish indie game, it's really fun as a group to just all talk about it. You know?
Inscription was amazing because my brother and James had already played it,
Right.
but me and the other friend, we had never played it yet. And I'm not much of a card fan game, but they've been a lot of these indie games. My friends, James and my friends, have been showing me have been slowly moving me towards card games. I don't think I'll ever play Master Duel unless it's for like a specific video or something.
For your own mental health. For your own mental health.
Yeah, but these indie card games are a lot of fun.
Yeah, Slay the
Spire.
Spire.
What I really enjoy is usually it's me controlling, and the guys around me and strategizing with me. But it's been a lot of fun. We'll do Inscription runs where like everyone kind of gives their take on like what's the best card to play here, and we kind of discuss like democratically about what's the best way to move forward. And oh man, it adds such a fun layer to these single player games.
It does, yeah.
The social element makes it into a bit of some Friendslop, minus the slop.
Yeah, well, it's more like it's like single player Mario Party almost. When we have that, you know, it almost feels like a board game the way we're playing it, where we're all just kind of discussing it. So it's a fun way to play it. We also did this for Enna's Barbecue.
You know, Dream Barbecue.
Yeah, Dream Barbecue,
which was really fun.
That one
That's
was
more
different.
like a walking sim.
Yeah, but we still had to like talk about, oh, maybe we should go here. Or, like, should we do this? And that was really, really interesting. Really fun to play again as a group with one person.
And just on last Friday, we played together. We played. It's called Tales from Off Peak City.
Yeah. Pretty
really weird surrealist game. I really liked it. We really liked the soundtrack. That was really vibe. But
music was cool. I think it was not as good.
The gameplay was alright. Yeah, it's not
like,
in a Dream Barbecue, but I think besides James, like us three, we.
I mean, I still like enjoyed it. Just like by the end, I was kind of like, okay, like I've had enough. But it's okay. Like I mean, it can't all be, you know, not everyone's gonna love everything, but it's fine. It was still cool. So yeah, that's like an interesting play style that people maybe should try. Me, I don't think I've been playing much else. I mean, honestly, I only got Expedition on my mind. I keep coming back to that topic. So
I will say a few weeks ago we played the rematch beta.
Oh yeah.
Which is like a Rocket League, Valorant hybrid. It's like a soccer game, but you're actually playing just one character and you play with like it's a team game.
Yeah.
Super excited for that release.
Looks cool.
That beta weekend,
it's made by the guys who made Sifu.
Yeah, the Sifu
which is crazy.
Which is so weird, but like from that game to that game, but super fun, super excited, and I think like it is worthy of the title of esports. Like it's actually a sport game. Yeah, it's not like those sim. It's not like FIFA where you're playing the whole team. It's a sim.
To me, it looks like a easier Rocket League in a lot of ways.
In some ways, yeah, but it's not like super high mechanical depth, but there's enough mechanical depth, and I think it relies a lot more on team strategy.
Well, I like it. I mean, I'm not. By the way, I'm not saying that to like hate on it. I can't play Rocket League because it's literally
too hard
when I see kids play Rocket League, I'm like, yeah, that's what I did with Smash. Yeah. You know, that's like where even I got like cracked at this fucking game. You know, they can't come back on the stage. They don't know how to press up B, and I don't know how to fucking kick that ball with a car by doing a flip. And, I don't know how to do that shit, bro.
Get that out of here, but I can handle it. But rematch, dude, super fun, super exciting.
I actually want to try it.
Yeah, when it comes out, it's too bad they're not doing a free to play model. I think it's a live service game. They're gonna have skins and cosmetics for your character. I don't know why they didn't do free to play model.
It probably would have made a lot of money. They probably should have.
They should, because like like Rocket League blew up with a lot of young kids playing it. Why do young kids play it? They have a console and it's a free game they
That's
can just
actually,
download.
yeah, man, they're kind of retarded because if they made it free, like iShowSpeed would have played it, and then it's over.
Yeah.
You're a billionaire company.
But they might maybe down the line, like after a couple updates, see like, oh, maybe free to play is the way to go.
Well, I mean, well, it's not good. That's not a good approach because
Yeah.
then like it just kind of fucks up like optics when you like release a game at a price and then you go, oh, this is going free now. It's kind of like makes people look at your game kind of like you're kind of fucking
it is a
up.
bad marketing PR move. It makes it look like, oh, they didn't sell. No one wants to
Yeah.
play that game, so now they're making it free.
Didn't they do that with Overwatch?
Yeah, Overwatch. I can't remember actually.
I
I
don't
bought Overwatch 1 when it came out.
Because I know it was you had to buy Overwatch back in the day.
back like when first.
But
the
is
first
it
game
still
came out.
that? Do you still have to buy it? I don't even know.
I'm not even sure anymore. But like Team Fortress 2 was like one of the first games to do this. I think like it became a free to play game like way later in the life cycle.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah,
That
Team
was
Fortress
way later?
2 was like years and years later.
Really?
I want to say so. Yeah,
Damn. But TF2, but see that's kind of different though.
it's a cult classic.
Well, it's super old, and it wasn't really a thing of like, it wasn't really bad optics. It's just like, oh, this game is still alive somehow after all these years. We'll make it free.
No, good point.
Like it's not exactly the same as like, oh, this game 1 year later, 2 years later, not doing as well as we wanted it to. We'll make it free. It's not the same exactly.
Good, yeah, that's fair.
But yeah. All right. I think we've like pretty much. Is there anything else? Wait, let me just check. We had some notes of things we might want to talk about. Yeah, we had the Half-Life 3 leak, but honestly, like we already know the Half-Life 3 is happening. Like
yeah, there's just a leak that said like the game is now in like a full playable state from like end to finish or start to finish.
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
let me see. I'll believe it when I see it, I guess. Other than that, yeah, we've done the release date, Silksong. Yeah, I think that's about it, man, for today. I mean, we have a good episode there, a lot better than the second one.
Yeah.
I'll probably actually post this one, so.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll be back when we're back. We don't really have a consistent schedule right now. But...
Yeah, we'll figure that out, once. It's hard, too, to have a consistent schedule because, like, you don't always have something to talk about. You know what I mean? Maybe we got to do, like, I don't know, like a top 10 video or some shit.
A top 10 video would be fun.
Anyway, peace.
Yeah. See you guys.